Hey everyone, Monday morning, like I said last night, my class that I usually have this morning was canceled because the instructor is sick. So I was hoping to go to the rad camp today. I have not left as early as I was hoping because I wanted to get there pretty close to when it opened, but that just did not happen. It's been open for an hour, so hopefully it won't be too filled up. But yeah, this is what I'm wearing today. It's a sweater vest and a skirt. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to head out now. Hopefully there's still some room. I'm pretty sure in there's an upper and lower reading room. Don't know if you have to like check your bag or lock up your bag and everything there. If I can't get into the rad cam, there will probably be seats in the old bod library. So I'll be in the area anyway. But yeah, gonna head out right away. I have a little bit more reading to do, and then I'm going to write this little like weekly journal entry for the class. They're just kind of like short reflections on one of the readings that you picked out, so I'm gonna do that. At the rad camp this morning, I met a couple people from my course at the Oxford Union to just like work on the journal entries together. Yeah, I'd never been to the Oxford Union before. I didn't really get any pictures or any clips because it was very like austere inside. I don't know. It's a cool building, but it's only open to non-union members until the end of the week, I believe. And then I can purchase a membership. I think it's like £250 for a lifetime or something. I don't know. I've heard conflicting reports on whether or not it's worth it. It's a cool building to have access to. That would be cool. And then they do like speakers throughout the year, like pretty big names. When you see it, it's just a wall of celebrities that have spoken there before. And you can see the lineup for the year. They have some controversial political figures coming, as well as Tom Hanks. So that would be cool to see. But yeah, and then afterwards I came back to my room and I've just been, like, I was editing my video from last week, and then I was doing a little bit more reading some of the non-essential texts for the class tomorrow. Yeah, just kind of hanging out, but I'm getting ready to go to the Pembroke Book Club, so I was making some notes on the poems. We read Lady Lazarus, Ariel, and Morning Song. So Lady Lazarus is probably the longest one, and it's also not that long. But yeah, gonna head over to the MCR to talk about those. I'm curious to see how many people are taking part in it, because I don't know if anyone that I've talked to so far is. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So just got back from Pembroke. Even though it was Sylvia Plath, it was still really fun. Apparently it was the best turnout that they've had for Pembroke in a really long time, which is cool. But yeah, good conversations. Even the poetry, I find I'm just not super into poetry, so it's like, it feels more inaccessible than prose to me sometimes, even though like choosing poetry for this makes sense. It's just like, it's a much smaller time commitment to read in time for the meetings. But yeah, this was a very like, even though it was a good conversation and like it felt like an in-depth conversation, it was like not low stakes, but like you know, it wasn't a lot of pressure. So yeah, it was really nice. But for the rest of the night, I think I'm going to hang out, either watch Friends or maybe read some Stone Blind, because I really want to finish that one soon. And I don't have that much left, so hopefully read a few chapters of that tonight. Good morning, everybody. So it's Tuesday. This morning I stayed in my room because I volunteered to be basically like one of two student reps for the course. So I was on a Teams meeting this morning with, people running the course, people from different departments that are, involved in the programming. So basically myself and the other rep, actually it's two Canadians. The two Canadians in the course volunteered for it. But we're basically, kind of acting as, we get to come to these meetings or part of the meetings and basically give like feedback from the student perspective, ask any questions that we might have. So this meeting came after like 1 week of classes, so there really wasn't too much to address. We kind of just had a couple questions about like supervisor allocation and that kind of thing. But it was good. It was nice to see, it's kind of cool to see like how courses are run, I guess, or like that whole process, how the staff and the people running the program are checking in and, making everything happen behind the scenes that then we see from class. So yeah, it was really cool. But then for now, I don't have a class until 2 and it's about 10:40 now. So I'm thinking about going either to the Pembroke Cafe, because Pembroke is unique among a lot of Oxford colleges because we have our own on-site cafe, which is cool. So I'll probably either go there or just one on the high street and continue browsing through some of the suggested readings for today's elements class. I'm done all of the essential ones and then I'm just kind of skimming through some of the suggested stuff. So that's my plan for today. And then tonight there's a Canadian small constituencies dinner, or Canadian constituencies dinner. So basically like all the Canadians that are here are gonna hang out and eat pizza. Not totally sure if I'm going yet. I'm pretty sure, it's free food, I'll probably go. But that won't be till later tonight, so I'll kind of just be hanging around till then. But yeah. So it's Wednesday morning. I realized I didn't really check in yesterday very much, but that's because it was pretty boring. After my class, I was going to hang around on college campus, like either at the MCR or the library, but I realized I needed toothpaste and there's a Tesco on my way back to my residence, so I went that way to do I just went that way, got toothpaste, and then was doing readings and stuff in my residence. And then in the evening, the Canadian constituencies did pizza at one of the Balliol common rooms. And that was really it. Yeah, nothing too exciting. But today I have my class in the morning, and then there's another Tolkien lecture this afternoon, so I'm going to try to go to that. And yeah, that's the plan for today. So I'm back from my classes, my class and the lecture. Today we had kind of I guess you'd say a guest speaker. He is going to be teaching a week of the text analysis course, and it's about text mining using Python. So it was definitely a little harder to follow, but I'm hoping that the next class, when we're doing kind of more a more practical, or we'll actually be doing stuff with the text. So he's using 3 Charles Dickens texts as an example. So I hope once you're actually seeing the results of it, that it will be a little clearer. Plus, I also have my Python seminar tomorrow, so we'll hopefully be doing a little more. I assume we'll be doing more than we did last week, where we just typed hello world, which I guess is how you basically start learning every code. That's what one of my friends who has had to learn coding told me. So yeah, to have that tomorrow. Hopefully it wasn't completely confusing, but yeah, definitely a bit of a learning curve, but it's a really cool system, I guess, or a method of doing close and distant reading and everything. And then the Tolkien lecture was good. It was about why Mount Doom isn't really the climax of The Lord of the Rings, and there's all these chapters afterwards. So it's kind of that. And it was a professor who works in the theology department, so he kind of looks at C.S. Lewis, Tolkien, and the Inklings, and the religious influences in the text. Yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of be chilling out here a little bit before I'm going to, so one of my friends invited me to a Christchurch guest dinner tonight. So that will be cool. I hear they have really good food, so I'm excited to see it and, you know, sit in the Harry Potter hall. Good morning. It's Thursday today. I don't have anything this morning. I have another Python class this afternoon. So I'm dressed. I have to return something to Primark that I bought when I thought we were going to try to go to the Sexy Subfusk party. I just got like a pair of shorts at Primark, so I'm going to return them because I definitely would not be wearing them unless it was for a costume. So I'm going to get rid of those, maybe look around Westgate a little bit, and then head to a library and do some readings before my class this afternoon. Yeah, the dinner at Christchurch yesterday was so good. Their food was insane. I'll see if I can figure out how to put pictures into here. If I can, I'll show you what each course was. It was like a shrimp salad, but with crayfish. I think that's how you say it. Not sure. But yeah, it was really nice. And then it was lamb with anchovies, which I've never had before. It was interesting. Potatoes, and then some vegetables. And then for dessert, it was like a pineapple sticky toffee pudding. But the plating was amazing. And it was only, so formals at Pembroke are, I believe, £8 for Pembroke students. And then this was like a guest dinner that they do every so often at Christchurch. I'm not sure how often she said they had them, but it was £15, which I was surprised by because I've heard like other formals at other colleges can get up to like 30, and I would think for like the quality of food that they would be able to charge quite a bit more for it. But yeah, it was nice. And then they had like free champagne beforehand, and we had some wine at the table. I think you had to, I assume you had to purchase it yourself or you had to take it. I'm not sure because I like shared with someone who got it, but which was very nice of them. So this morning I went to Westgate, returned what I needed to return, and then I looked around and other stories. And then I just went and had a coffee and did some of my readings for next week before heading to Python at the history faculty. It was really good, not too confusing yet. We're still kind of just like writing stuff in the program, so like we learned what variables. We did more stuff with the variables today and like strings, and then a little bit with integers and stuff. So I feel like I could follow along pretty well in this class, although I still don't really get how you take it like off of the program and into real life. It's a mystery to me, but I'm sure I'll get there when I become like a full-fledged computer programmer. But then afterwards I went back to And Other Stories because I got these boots. So they were having a sale, these were on sale, and the boots that I brought are kind of a similar thing. And they were the right choice to bring with me because these were my only like straight up flat black ankle boots. But I prefer the way that these ones look on my leg. These don't do anything for my ankles, you know? And they're a little bit taller, and like these ones are comfortable, but they are quite flat and have a thinner sole. So I mean, they're not bad, but you know, when you're just walking on shoes all day on like cobblestones or like hard surfaces, and if they don't have a lot of support, like the bottom of your feet just ache, it's like, man, it's not horrible or anything, but I think these ones will probably be comfier, and they have like the little bit of a heel, which sometimes is more comfortable than not just being totally flat anyway. So yeah, I'm very excited about these. I really like them because they kind of like have the same vibe as Doc Martens, but I've tried on Doc Martens before and they just don't look correct on me. I love them on other people, but every time, so I think that I can do it, but then I try them on and they just don't work for me. So these are like the same kind of vibe, but they're just like a little slimmer, I guess. And I feel like they fit with my style a little better. Yeah, so now I'm just back in my room, gonna do some reading again. And I don't have anything else planned for tonight, so it's gonna be pretty quiet. Morning, everybody. It's Thursday, or no, it's Friday. I'm about to head out for my morning class. Got the new boots on. Yeah, got kind of a full day today. I'm gonna do the classes, and then the English faculty is doing like a seminar on applying for DPhils. So I'm going to go to that, meet up with another one of the Canadian Roads girls to take part in that. And then we rescheduled the photo session that we were supposed to have for matriculation stuff. So I have all of my matriculation clothes, hence why I'm wearing the black skirt today. It was very strategic. So then I just have to change my shirt and put on the robe and everything. But hopefully the weather will hold up for that. And then yeah, tonight there's like this very fancy union event, so I'll have to come back and get ready for that. Hey guys, so I realized I completely forgot to film anything when I was out today, but I wasn't anywhere that I hadn't been before, except I went to the English faculty building, which is connected to the Faculty of Law, but it's not like a particularly cool building. Like it's a nice building. They have a little cafe and everything, but it's not like it's not a particularly cool building. But it's nice, it's just not like old and historic. But yeah, I went to my text analysis class. We were doing more text mining with Python. Today I felt like I could follow along a little better with what the instructor was doing. Would I be able to recreate it myself? So we'll see. But afterwards I had to go find a pair of shoes to wear tonight. I'll tell you about that in a second. But after that I found shoes, and then I went to the English faculty. So the first part was kind of tailored to just like PhDs anywhere but Oxford and Cambridge, because the system is a little bit different here. Not majorly. The biggest difference is that you don't really find your own supervisor. So a lot of PhD programs, you kind of just like cold email people, honestly, and are like, hey, would you supervise my project, basically? Because they have really like final say on whether you get into the program, like whether or not your project gets taken up. Whereas here you're assigned a supervisor. So you can state like a preferred supervisor, someone that you'd really want to work with. But that's not really, the committee kind of like assigns you to someone, essentially. I'm sure they have some influence or can say yes or no. I don't really know how that works on their end, but yes. So some good tips. It wasn't like nothing was a surprise, but it was just kind of some further insight into like how to write your research proposal and everything, and saw some examples from the presenters' own research proposals that they submitted. So it was nice to see like what it would actually look like. It was helpful. And then afterwards I came back to my room, and now I'm getting ready because I'm going to a black tie event with some girls from my college. Yeah, because that's just a thing that is part of my life now. The Oxford Union is having this black tie event. There's gonna be like poker, food, sushi, that kind of thing. Get to see the Union building. I don't totally know what all it will entail, but yeah, that's what I'm getting ready for now. I had attempted to do kind of like a Pamela Anderson-esque hair situation, but it just didn't work. It looked okay from the front, but it just looked real crazy from the back. So I just did what I normally do. I did a ponytail, then 2 braids, and then kind of wrapped it around itself. Although it also wasn't cooperating today, because that always happens when you're trying to actually do your hair for a special occasion and never wants to go where it's supposed to go. So that's what I'm getting ready. I'm just gonna like freshen up my makeup that I had on from earlier today, and it will be fun. So this lighting is alarming, but it's because it's quite gray outside today, so there's just not that much light in my room. But yeah, so I got cut off last night as I was getting ready because I thought that I had like 20 minutes, a half an hour until we were going to meet, but I actually had like 2 minutes. So I had to rush through, so I'll put in a little clip from now of what my dress was. Hi there. So this is Cassidy from the past slash future. Yeah, this is what I wore to the ball. I got it back in Canada from Melanie Lynn because we knew that there was going to be all these black tie events and that some of them came up pretty quickly. So we were like, it's probably a good idea to have address. Especially because like I'm quite tall, hard to find something that fits, that you like, that is long enough. This isn't long enough to wear with heels, but pros and cons. Then I'm comfortable for most of the night, but it's just not as fun. But yeah, I was slightly overdressed for bar night, but the union event was kind of a mix. Like if you wore something like this, you weren't out of place, but if you wore just kind of a more regular cocktail dress, you weren't out of place either. Yeah, and we are back from the past. The union event last night was good. It wasn't amazing. Like I heard someone describe it as like, I had a good time, but I could have had a better time, which is kind of how I felt about it too. Like it was fine. It was a slightly weird vibe. It was in the Union building and we got there early. Like we got there kind of right at 7, which is when it was supposed to start. And like, so, I mean, it's not like we were the first people there, but we were some of the first people there. And there was like one saxophonist playing and yeah, just like kind of standing around. It was like a mingling event, except you're in black tie, and they had like not much champagne, not much food. And they had boba tea, which seemed very random. We were going to get some, but the line was really long. Afterwards, we left and then went to our MCR bar night, which was fun. I hadn't been to just like a regular bar night that wasn't like a bop, like a themed party, since the very first one. So at the very first one, it was very crowded. And then this one, it like got busier as the night went on, but it was just like a nice amount of people. You know, it didn't feel like you're like packed into these two relatively small rooms. So the bar night was fun. Then I got back, I feel like 1 or 1:30. So I just went to bed. But today, I haven't really been doing too much. Yeah, I didn't have anything planned. So I've just kind of been doing work. I found some stuff for my DPhil application, which is good. I feel like I've gotten some work done on that. And then yeah, that's kind of it for the day. I think it's just gonna be a very chill Saturday. And then I'll have more stuff going on tomorrow. Hi, so it has already been a bit of a day. I'll catch you up on last night first. Yeah, I was in my room kind of all day, so later afternoon I was like, I just need to get out. So I left and I went for a walk, ran into someone else from Pembroke who was kind of doing the same thing. So we just wound up walking through Christchurch Meadows, which I have been in before, but we took some different trails that I'd never seen before. Really nice walking paths. If you're like a psychopath, you could go running there, and I'm sure it would be lovely. I probably won't be doing that, but it's a nice walking space. It's actually quite lucky to be quite close to that. To have some like green spaces nearby is nice. And then afterwards, me and some girls from college like met up later in the evening, had some dinner, and then did like room tours and hung out for a while. It was nice. Other people's rooms are much better decorated than mine. I'm on the hunt for some like prints. Everything that I've seen has been quite expensive though. And I do have some at home that I definitely want to bring back at Christmas. So it might just be bare for a while, but it feels slightly hospital-y. So definitely want to start planning it out a little bit more. But then this morning, the Canadian cohort from our year were planning to get some like matriculation photos done, and it just like we had to reschedule quite a few times, but they happened today. We were but we were supposed to meet at 8:30, so I'd like set an alarm for early, but I accidentally set it to PM instead of AM, so luckily I woke up with enough time to get ready, but I was just rushing through everything, got there on time, took some photos. We got to walk through New College, which is so pretty. I'll put in some clips. It's obviously there's been like a lot of scenes from Harry Potter filmed throughout Oxford, a lot in Christchurch, but I think New College is arguably the most like recognizable spots. It has the tree where Draco is turned into a ferret by Moody, and just those kind of like open air like archways. Quite a few shots from especially the earlier films, I would say, were shot there. So very, very cool to see. New College has quite pretty grounds. Definitely would like to go back again. And they have some grass that you're allowed to walk on. All of the colleges, or like the colleges that have quads, I think most of them probably have grass that you can't walk on, and then there's grass that you can walk on. At Pembroke, you're not allowed to walk on the grass, except on one quad you are. In like Trinity term, when you're playing croquet or something, then it's okay. Very specific rules. But yeah, for the rest of the day, I think for now, I'm just gonna like take a minute to chill, and then I'll study. So I'm either going to go to, I don't know if I'm going to walk all the way back to the rad cam. We took a bunch of pictures there as well. Might go back there, or I might just go to the Pembroke Library. It's not as pretty, but it's serviceable, it's nice. So probably do that today. Oh, I also had an English breakfast for the first time. I guess it wasn't a true English breakfast because on the menu you can order like either tomato or Heinz beans, but I thought it was like tomato beans or something, so I'd ordered beans. So I thought I was ordering beans, but I just got a couple of tomatoes. So I didn't have any beans, and I feel like that is kind of what makes an English breakfast. I'm unsure about beans for breakfast, but we'll see. It was nice. I think we were in, was it the Covered Market? It must have been. I don't know. Yeah, just like a little cafe spot that we walked into. I wasn't leading the way, I was just following, so can't remember what the place was called, but it was good. I had a really good, probably the best coffee, like iced coffee thing that I've had since we've been here. So that was good. But yeah, gonna be a pretty chill day again, I think. Probably go to second dessert this evening as well at the college. So I just got back from second dessert. Yeah, I was in the library for a couple hours. I feel like I was doing a lot, but I don't know if I got a whole lot accomplished, but cleared out my email inbox, so that's something. And then, yeah, me and a friend from Pembroke met up and went for a walk down along the river, came back, chilled for a bit, and then went to second dessert. Ate way too much chocolate, but it was nice. And then, yeah, just gonna have a chilled evening. I don't know what time it is now, but it's like, okay, yeah, it's nearly 10:30. So I'm gonna end it here, and I'll see you next week.